lighting. So the outside's gonna have an amazing presentation. So, but anyways, those of you that are here, thank you so much for coming. It's a privilege for you to be here with us, and I'm just gonna give it off to Red.
Well, this is amazing. Let me tell you, I want to go back. I want to go back so that you can understand who he is. I first met him when he was a student at Bethel College, and he was a manager. So he was basically lining fields and doing the laundry. And I'm watching him being a field liner and a laundry guy, and I could, as I got to know him, it was very obvious that he had a mind for the game, and he loved the philosophy of how to put a team together, who to put in what position, what structure to run, and how to manage a game. And he's lining fields and doing the laundry. And after about a year, I just encouraged him. I said, you know what, Ethan, I think you're in the wrong spot. I think you need to find a team that you can start coaching, and there are a lot of opportunities in our community. And so you're doing fine with the laundry, and you're doing great with he didn't do so great with the lines initially. It was like, you were about the worst I ever saw, actually.
Not my calling.
And so anyway, but what I saw in Ethan was a very humble guy, and just willing to serve because he loved the game. And so I watched that, and then he goes on, gets his degree at Bethel College, and then he goes off and he gets his master's degree from Barcelona, Cruyff University, a soccer university in sports management. And then next thing I hear, we've stayed in touch, but I didn't realize he was gonna start an academy. And I got together with him, like, hey, I text him, I go, hey, I want to see, I hear you got a building, and what's going on? And he says, well, come on over. And so I came over, and this place was unbelievable. What he had to work with from then until now is really transformational. And this blew my mind, guys. I don't know if you look around our country, but there are not just a high percentage of young people going out and working hard these days, right? I mean, restaurants have to close early. Starbucks closes at 1 o'clock because they don't have people to work. A friend of mine owns Chick-fil-A, and they can't even open the dining because they don't have enough people to work. And I'm like, who is this guy? I mean, I've known him for all these years, but he's 24 years old. He was 23 years old when he started this vision. I told him he's too young and dumb, because if he were old and wise like me, he wouldn't even try something like this. But the amazing thing is COVID hits. He can't go to Barcelona in person. He has to do the online to get his master's. The professor basically, for his degree, wanted him to write a business plan on how he would integrate soccer into his community. He still didn't know. He's a man of faith, trusts God, believes God, and he still didn't know at this point, when he's doing this assignment, that this assignment is going to actually turn into what you're setting in right now. And it's one thing to have an idea or a vision, and it's quite different to have a vision that actually works. So how are you gonna recruit high school students away from their public school, where they can no longer play in Indiana Soccer Association, and how are you going to get these guys to come here? How are you going to get the funding? How can a 24-year-old manage a rehab of a building like this? I mean, we're talking almost $60,000 just for the sprinkler system you see going in here that he didn't even know was going to be needed when he got the building. I mean, one challenge after the other, and then, hey, I mean, you're seeing some fine young soccer players here tonight, but do you think 14, 15, and 16-year-old kids offer any challenges to teachers and administrators in this world? So he has to hire teachers, he has to get funding, he has to rehab the building, and I'm like, who are you? I think we have something kind of chokes me up. We have something that is really special. This is the first soccer academy in the United States. So the detail, you can't imagine the detail of getting uniforms. And oh, did I mention connecting this school with a premier level soccer team via Riel? I mean, this is crazy, Ethan. This is crazy. But here's the deal. It's all about impacting young people's lives who have a love for soccer. Soccer is just the hook, guys. We got them. We baited the fish. We baited the line, and soccer gets them in the door. But it's about something bigger than that. It's about inspiring vision in these guys so that they go on, they're presidents and CEOs and owners of companies, and they are successful guys with or without soccer in life. So it's about something much bigger than soccer. Soccer is our love. We have a lot of fun. And his vision, when I said it's one thing to have a vision, it's quite a different thing to have a vision that actually works. So he told these guys, the guys and our one girl, he told them that if they come to the International Soccer Academy, that he would get them in front of college coaches and he would get them offers. And they came on that premise. And we played how many colleges so far? The reserve teams, college reserve, 4? And what do we have, 16 offers so far? And so the vision works, okay? The vision works because they are getting offers and we've only had 4 games. We are just starting. And so there's lots more to talk about. I'm going to get off the stage. Who's next, Ethan? Are you going to introduce them or am I?
Yeah, I will.
You will.
Well, thanks, Red. Red and I have a special relationship, and you know how relationships go. They come and they go, and so I was in college. He was my college minister, and I chose, to be involved with him through that. But life comes, and friends come, and people come and go, and we stayed in touch just enough to where I felt comfortable reaching out to him and saying, "Will you just come to the building?" And he walked in. I was like, "Okay, so I want you to do this and this and this and this." And he goes, "No, but I'll pray about it." And then the next time he came in, I said, "I would love to have a worship night on Wednesdays, and I would love to do this." And I told him the other day, I see, really exciting, big thing coming in the next couple months that I hope brings a lot of joy into people's lives. And he's like, I'll pray about it. We'll see. So I just kind of Red's kind of the liaison to God for me, and whatever Red says kind of goes. So yeah. So thank you, Red. Thank you. All right. So next will be Mr. Kerry Davis. Kerry is the director of mathematics here at ISAA.
Thank you very much. Kerry Davis is my name. Mathematics is my game. And I'm actually the whole math department is here. We have Algebra 1 going, Algebra 2. We have pre-calculus. We've got one student which I'm hoping to get him going on calculus in the next few months. I'm a busy man. I also teach U.S. history and integrated chemistry and physics. It's a busy day around here. It's a busy day. And we all wear a lot of different hats around here. But I want to give a little bit of history. My history with Ethan goes back farther than Red's does. I ran across Ethan 10 years ago. I was teaching at Marion High School. I taught there a total of 10 years, enjoyed it there very much. My first year I really enjoyed, Ethan was in my class. He was in Algebra 1 Honors. He was in a group of 17 or 18 young people, and it was a good group. It was a lively group. And I remember one of his claims to fame that year, and I almost feel bad, but not quite, was that he wound up getting a detention in my classroom. Now, he says he didn't deserve it. I'm recollecting that he did, but I feel bad that that was the only one he got in all 4 years. I feel bad about that. But anyway, he was in that freshman class with me. I don't think I saw him very much as a sophomore, except in the hall to say hello, goodbye. And then as a junior and a senior, he was in my homeroom. And we got to know each other quite a bit better in homeroom, because we would sit and we would talk politics and solve the problems of the political world. and we share a lot of political points of view. And so we bonded over that. Then when he was a senior, he had this, to me, he's always had this strong sense, since I've known him, of community, which is probably why he's being so successful now at this school. But he had a strong sense of community, and he decided when he was 18 years old, he would run for Mishawaka City Council person. And I said, man, this is pretty cool. And of course, he was in my, again, my homeroom class as a senior at that time. And we have a picture somewhere, because I remember you sent it to me just not too long ago, and I'm not very good with my cell phone and pictures and all that stuff. I should be better. But I've got it on my phone where I'm handing him, I think it was the first check towards your campaign, because I believed in it. I believed in what he was trying to do. And as it turned out, the incumbent kept their position, but that was the point. The point was he's 18 years old. The point is 18 years old and willing to serve his community. That was the good part. So I remember going to his graduation party, which was a fabulous get-together. I see a few people in the audience who were at that graduation party. I'm recognizing them, and I'm recognizing some fellow graduates of yours out there in the audience. But I kind of lost track of him after high school. And I knew he was going to Bethel, but I hadn't had a lot of contact with him. So I remember out of nowhere, he contacts me and says, I want you to come to my college graduation party. And I thought, wow, what an honor. I don't think I've ever been to a college graduation party for a former student of mine. Wonderful. So I went to that, and we had a good time. He, of course, at the party mentioned the fact of the detention, which must have still been festering in the back of his mind, but that's okay too. So anyway, again, a little time passes, and then he contacts me in the summer, I think it was 2019. I think it was June. And he says, I would like to get together, I would like your opinion on my master's thesis. And I said, wow, I thought to myself, I've never looked at a master's thesis. I want to do this. So we met at the Chicory Cafe in downtown South Bend, and we drank Chicory Cafe coffee. Probably paid way too much, as I recall. And he had his laptop, and he showed me everything. And I thought, man, this is really, really powerful, good stuff. And of course, it had a lot of numbers, and being a math guy, I love my numbers. And he had every kind of number imaginable cranked in there, and predictions of this, that, and the other thing. And it looked to me as if he had really taken into account just about everything you can imagine. So as I sat there, I thought, I wonder if I could be a part of this somehow. Now remember, I was still teaching at Marion. I had just finished my 9th year, and I was going to start my 10th year in the fall. And he said to me, I think I would like you to come on board and teach mathematics. And I thought about it, and I didn't think long, but I did have to tell him, because you know men, we got to check with our wives. Well, we're not making a big decision like that without checking with our wives. But I knew, my wife, of course, knew Ethan, knew good stuff about him, and she was on board right away, and I accepted that situation. So my claim to fame now is I was the first teacher on board for this new project, and I'm very thankful. Anyway, we are enjoying our year. We are having a lot of challenges, which we knew we would. Yes. And we are playing college teams. As a matter of fact, tomorrow night we play Goshen College. Monday we play Indiana Wesleyan in Indianapolis. Wow. And it's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for that, and you want to turn me down? I got a loud mouth. And it's a privilege to have you, and if I recall correctly, like the first 2 restaurants we tried to go to were closed. Yeah, so the world just kind of works in mysterious ways, and it was like, they're like, no, don't do it, so maybe, you might be like, oh, they should have listened to the restaurants, but I really hope that you're having a good time, and it's just such an honor to have you here, so thank you. Now, one last person before we have our parent and our student testimony is Doug Merritt, who is our Director of Marketing. Thank you. Thank you, Ethan.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and sit down. Well, I want to say thank you to everyone that came out. I just think it's fantastic to see this warm welcome for Ethan and his vision, and more importantly, Ethan. I see you every night, and it brings joy to my heart. It really does. And I just want to say, as your volunteer director of marketing, we have a special connection and a special bond. And Ethan is our children. My wonderful, beautiful bride is in the back of the room, and our children, Ethan is their former coach. So we connected with Ethan, and I've had the pleasure of connecting with Ethan at a completely different level. So we became a host family. Ethan approached us and he said, what do you think? I have 2 young men that need some place to stay while they're coming to the academy. Would you consider being a host family? And I thought to myself, well, I better make this decision with my wife, because the last decision that I made,
I should just start going to the wives.
well, I have to tell you, so about 8 years ago, Ann and we embarked on this project. I had this vision for the old number 4 fire station here in Mishawaka. And as a community guy, Ethan and I connected, and I really thought when we were done with the complete restoration and getting all the historic protection that we could, that's available to us on old number 4, what do we do with it at that point? It's this 4,500 square foot, 3-story, single engine firehouse. And Ethan came to mind. And I thought, Ethan was brought into my life and into my family's lives for a reason. And that reason is that old number 4 should be the Academy's dormitory.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I never really had the vision as a child of wanting to be a firefighter or a police officer, but life and God brought me in a direction of protecting and saving a magnificent, beautiful old structure in the community that I was raised in. And what better way than for that connection to be passed over to Ethan and to the students and the wonderful students. And I would like to recognize my host students here. If Julius, if you would raise your hand, please. Eric's in the back. So being a director of marketing, everything that I can do, I'm Ethan's biggest cheerleader. If there's something that I can do, whether it be putting on a maintenance cap or getting out and speaking with someone or sending out some emails, that's what I do, and that's what I love. And with this, I hope that everyone here tonight enjoys the vision that Ethan has for the first soccer academy high school in the United States.
Okay, well, try not to cry tonight. So, yeah. So, thank you, Doug, for that. And that's a big announcement tonight that we hadn't announced yet about the fire station. So we're really, really excited about that. And I think we can probably fit a couple dozen students in there. Yeah. It's 4,500 square feet. What is it? 4,500 square feet. I think it's 4 stories, right, with the basement. So, yeah. So it's a really huge facility.
Your international vision.
There's a lot there.
It goes along,
Yeah.
but it goes along with
So we have 24 international students who've already applied, Dubai, Myanmar, all around the world. It's a struggle getting them in with COVID right now, obviously is the issue, and we only have 4 full-time staff. So we're focused on the kids we have, and we don't want to sacrifice their needs for the needs of the international kids that we don't have yet. But I'm doing the best I can, and with Sandra Ponce de Leon, our Spanish teacher, and we're going to work over the next year to try and get certified from the U.S. government to bring in these kids from Mexico and Brazil and Europe, from all around the world, and hopefully use the fire station as a host residency for kids who live more than 2 hours away, whether they're domestic or international students. So we're really excited about that, and I think we may fill it up fast, so we may need to add more stories, but we'll worry about that when we get there. And just like every other thing, we just do what we can until we get to the next place, and then we figure out what to do then. So thank you, Doug, for those kind words. Appreciate it. I apologize for starting a little late. I want to make sure everybody can sit down. So if you have to get somewhere, by the end, feel free to just head out. But we have some really powerful student and parent testimony, which for me it's everything. That's what this is. It's for the kids, and to hear these parents kind of share what it's done for their kids' lives is really special. So I'll call up Elsa Flores first, and Julius, would you just come up here and sit with your mom for a minute? Thanks.
right here.
Hola, mi nombre es Elsa Navarro, soy mamá de Julius.
Hello, my name is Elsa Navarro and I'm Julia's mom.
Siempre tenemos que recorrer caminos difíciles para llegar a destinos maravillosos.
We are always in a path that we are in a journey that we can get into marvelous places.
Les voy a hablar un poquito de mi vida para que me puedan entender un poco y lo feliz que estoy al llegar aquí.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about my life, and so you can understand me, why I'm here, and how happy I am in this place.
Tengo 8 años de divorciada.
I'm a divorce, 8 years. I've been divorced 8 years.
Para mí era muy difícil explicarle a mi hijo el por qué su papá ya no iba a poder estar conmigo.
For me, it was very hard to explain to my son why his dad was not going to be anymore with me.
Sé que empezaba un nuevo reto porque empecé de cero con mis 2 hijos.
I knew that it was a new challenge for me because I just starting over from scratch with my 2 kids.
Eso implicó que yo empezara a trabajar de noche.
With that challenge, I started working at night.
Por 6 años dejé a mi hijo durmiendo solo.
For 6 years, I left my son sleeping by himself.
Durante ese tiempo yo sentí que lo perdí.
During that time, I thought I lost him.
Cuando mi futuro se me presenta una oportunidad de cambiarme en la mañana,
When something in my future, something happened in my future that I could change my hours of work in the morning.
yo ya no conocía a mi hijo.
I didn't recognize my son anymore.
El dormir solo, el estar alejado de mí, me hizo no saber qué le gustaba de comer, cuál era su comida favorita, porque fue un distanciamiento muy grande.
It was so hard for me to now go back and try to know him since I couldn't tell what kind of food he likes or any of his favorite things. It was very hard for me just to connect with him again.
El último año de la escuela elemental hubo muchos problemas por la misma que él se sentía solo.
The last years of his elementary school, it was very hard because he felt lonely.
Cuando empezó la high school, para mí fue otro reto más grande porque era escuela donde iba a haber niños mayores, iba a haber más cosas más difíciles que él iba a empezar a experimentar.
When he reached high school, it was harder because I knew that there was more challenge for him and he will experience something different than just elementary school.
Para mí era un poco difícil porque tenía que hacer el papel de papá y hablarle fuerte. Y yo sé que para él también era difícil tener solamente a mamá. Él hubiera querido tener una figura paterna para poder hablarle de lo que él sentía, de los problemas que él tenía.
It was so hard for me to discipline him, and I knew that he needed a male figure in his life.
Cuando empieza la high school, él me habla de este proyecto que un amigo lo invitó.
When high school started, Julius told me about this project. A friend invited him.
Vine a la primera conferencia que nos hicieron. Las cosas que nos dijo Ethan eran muy bonitas, pero yo las sentía muy lejos de mi alcance, y se me hacía imposible yo poder hacer el sueño de mi hijo realidad.
I came here with the first conferences or meetings, and I met with Ethan, and I like everything and his vision, but for me it was like untainable. It was just impossible for me to get something like this.
Especialmente por la distancia. Yo vivo a 2 horas de aquí.
Especially because of the distance, I live 2 hours away from here.
Yo creo en los milagros. Creo que ustedes también.
I do believe in miracles, and I believe that you do too.
Porque anduvimos buscando departamentos, pero ¿quién iba a rentar un departamento a un jovencito de 16 años? Nadie.
I was looking for apartments, but no one was going to rent an apartment for a 16-year-old, so it was hard.
Cuando mi esperanza estaba hasta el suelo, Ethan me habló y me dijo, ¿sabes qué? Tengo las personas perfectas que te van a ayudar.
I was losing hope, and I was just thinking that this was not going to be possible, but Ethan called me and I say, I have someone who can help you.
Yo ahorita estoy muy contenta y yo sé que no me va a alcanzar la vida para agradecerle a Doug, Ann, por la ayuda que le están dando a mi hijo.
I lost it. Sorry.
No me va a alcanzar el tiempo para agradecer a Doug y Ann lo que están haciendo por mi hijo.
Okay, it's not going to be enough time for me to just be thankful to Doug and Ann because you are doing a great job with my son.
Puedo decir que Doug lleva una buena relación con mi hijo porque ahora él sí tiene con quién hablar, decir lo que siente, y yo estoy muy agradecida por eso. Y aquí, delante de ustedes, quiero pedirle perdón a mi hijo por dejarlo dormir 6 años solo.
Now she's going to make okay. All right, well, she said about that dog right now, he is filling a gap on these, and Julius is just having like another dad, and she's very thankful about that, and right now she's just very thankful for what Julius has, and in front of you, she just wants to say, sorry for all the years that your mom left you by yourself, sleeping. Thank you.
Al principio les dije que a veces tenemos que recorrer caminos difíciles para llegar a destinos maravillosos. Yo estoy bien agradecida con Ethan, con Doug, porque el cambio que tiene mi hijo es completamente diferente. Dio un giro de 360 grados, seguimos pagando, o sea, seguimos teniendo sacrificios, pero es por el bien de mi hijo.
Okay, so I can see the big change in my son's life, like a 360 degrees, completely opposite, so I am very thankful. We still have our challenges, but I can tell you that it's just moving forward with all of these opportunity that we have.
Thank you, Ethan. Thank you.
You want to introduce the next one? You want to introduce the next one?
Yes. So that would be Olga. Where are you? Olga Esparza? No. It's Olga Esparza. It's Ethan Esparza's mom.
I'm crying también. Sí, I'm gonna cry. Yeah. Sí. So I'm sorry, I'm crying too. It's like my son all the time, he say I cry for everything. But this moment is like, oh my God, I don't know. I think all the moms, we have the same thing about like our kids. I think like everybody, we want the best for them all the time. So, no, I don't know, this story is like too hard. But okay, breathe and breathe. Normally when I grab a microphone, it's for sing, right? Like karaoke or something, right? Normally I don't talk in front of everybody because my English is not very good. But when Ethan, he asked me, I want to talk, and I said, well, yes, why not? He's doing a good job with my son, and yeah, so he came from another school, like a good school. And when my son, he asked me about like, this school is like my first thing was like, why? Why you want to go to another school if you're going in your school is a good one? He said, well, I'm not happy over there. I don't like the school. Even like it's a private school. And I said, well, okay. After the pandemic that we have last year, I lost my mom. And my focus right after my mom died for the virus and everything, I was thinking about like to have happy kids. I mean, because the life is hard, and I'm single mom too. I have 2 kids, my son and my daughter is somewhere, I don't know where she is. But yeah, so it's hard. So when she was talking about her son, I was like, yeah, I think all the moms, we want the same thing for our kids. So yeah, when he asked me about the school, and we came to this school, I talked with Ethan. I don't have idea. A lot of people, they know Ethan for many years. No, my first impression was like, well, he's Ethan. I was like a normal person. Yeah. Well, you're normal anyways. Yeah. So yeah, and when he explained to me about his school, I was like, I don't know, it's like a big change for my son. But my son told me like I wanna go, and it's not about like he wanna go, he don't wanna go. It's like about like what is the best for him. And yeah, that's the reason that we came here, and I'm so glad because I think we took the right decision. I'm so happy. I can see it, and sometimes he's very tired because sometimes he's like a father, he's like a friend, he's like everything for us. And if somebody recommend this school, I'm gonna say me. Because I think, you have any phone?
No.
Okay. He's like very serious. He don't talk too much. I don't know why. I speak too much. And well, yeah. The reason another thing I wanna say is like when we talk about school, he told me like his grades in the school was like very low. He was very low. He had like very low grades. He has like D's, F's. And I said, well, I mean, why? I mean, because I feel bad like a mom. In that moment, I feel like, what I'm doing wrong? And he told me, I don't like the school, Mom. I'm not happy in the school. And I said, okay, well, so, and he told me like many times, I don't want to go to college either. I mean, I'm done. And I said, well, no, you're not done, because you have to finish high school. I don't know how, but you're going to finish. At least high school. I'm not asking you about like a college. I'm just high school, and that's it. And so that's when I meet Ethan. He told me about like many things, and I told my son, okay, let's do it. Even if we didn't have, like enough money, he gave me the opportunity anyways. I think he gave the opportunity to everybody. He's not like you can. No, he's like he's a great person, and now my son grades now are like much better. I don't see like more F's. I don't see He's doing a good job, and I'm so proud of you. And we will say, okay. So, I don't know, questions? It's like, I know I don't want to speak, I just want to say like he's doing great, and now exists the little possibility to go on to the college. So now he's like maybe. So I say maybe for some reason. So, yeah. Thank you for everything, because I know you're tired. Many kids.
Tired,
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay?
You have 15 minutes.
All right. Yeah, that's not good. All right. Let's take a couple-minute break for you to get some wine and cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we'll reconvene. Okay. All right.
You just need tissues, that's why. Yeah, that's why.